A thunderous explosion rips through the night, followed by a brilliant, searing light that cleaves the sky in two. At Star Labs, the tranquil hum of high-tech machinery is obliterated in an instant, replaced by chaos. Monitors flicker erratically with alerts, and advanced equipment shudders under the pressure of a rapidly intensifying energy field. The very fabric of reality groans under the strain. At the epicenter of the calamity, Barry Allen the Flash is violently thrown against a concrete wall. His legendary speed offers no solace as he watches the storm of dimensions brewing. The multiverse itself is at risk of unraveling. As the dimensions collide, Gotham City becomes the first casualty. Amid the city's darkened rooftops, Batman encounters a nightmarish vision, a version of himself twisted and malevolent. This alternate Batman, with eyes glowing crimson and his movements radiating an almost feral menace, is everything Bruce Wayne has fought to resist. Without hesitation, the two engage in combat. Each strike is more than physical. It is a clash of philosophies and values, a fight for the soul of what it means to be Batman. High above the earth, in the Justice League's watchtower, alarms blare incessantly, filling the command center with an overwhelming sense of urgency. Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, stands at a console, her expression grim. She feels the world's natural balance faltering, as though the planet itself is warning of the impending catastrophe. Next to her, Black Canary pores over Data Cyborg is streaming into the system. "It's chaos," Canary mutters, her voice laced with disbelief. "These anomalies defy everything we know." Victor Stone Cyborg works feverishly, his cybernetic systems glowing as he connects to multiversal data streams. His eyes dart across the screens, processing vast amounts of information at superhuman speed. Finally, he speaks, his voice grave. "We have 48 hours max before the collapse reaches our universe. After that, everything is gone." Around him, holographic projections show entire dimensions disintegrating, their landscapes flickering out like dying embers. As the team scrambles to form a plan, a sudden, unstable portal materializes in the watchtower. From it emerges Kara Zor-El, Supergirl. She looks battle-worn, her face etched with exhaustion and grief. In her hands, she holds a radiant artifact, the quantum key. Her voice trembles as she speaks. "My world. It's gone," she says, her words heavy with despair. This key might stabilize the collapsing dimensions, but it comes with a cost, a sacrifice none of us will want to make. Elsewhere, Superman faces a dire battle of his own. In Metropolis, he squares off against a familiar foe, General Zod. But this Zod is not from his timeline. The clash between the two Kryptonians leaves destruction in its wake, skyscrapers crumbling as civilians flee in terror. Superman fights not only to protect the people, but also to minimize the damage, knowing every second lost could edge the multiverse closer to its end. In Central City, Barry locates the epicenter of the multiversal collapse. The energy signatures are like nothing he's ever encountered, a pulsating chaos that defies comprehension. He gathers the team and speaks with unwavering resolve. "I'll need to go deeper into the Speed Force than I've ever gone," he declares. Fear lingers in his voice, but determination burns brighter. However, every attempt he makes to harness the Speed Force seems to amplify the fractures threatening their reality. Batman, ever the strategist, steps into the role of planner. Hours of analysis lead him to a single, precarious solution. The quantum key can realign the dimensional frequencies, he explains, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. But it's a calculated risk. If something goes wrong, we could accelerate the collapse. The team listens intently, the weight of the decision pressing on everyone present. As dimensional rifts spread, Metropolis faces an invasion of monstrous entities, twisted amalgamations of villains and creatures from other realities. Supergirl and Wonder Woman join forces to hold the line. Diana's lasso of truth binds the chaotic beasts, while Kara's heat vision cuts through them with precision. Their synergy is breathtaking, a testament to their strength and leadership. Despite the overwhelming odds, they stand firm, embodying hope amidst despair. While coordinating the defense, Cyborg discovers a harrowing truth. Activating the quantum key will destroy whoever wields it. His voice is somber as he shares this revelation with the team. This isn't just a weapon. It's a death sentence for whoever uses it. The room falls silent, the weight of his words palpable. For a moment, no one speaks until Kara steps forward. Her voice is steady, her decision resolute. My world is already gone. I won't let that happen here. As the plan solidifies, Barry prepares for his ultimate run. His task is clear but daunting: to stabilize the epicenter of the collapse by channeling the speed force like never before. "If I don't make it back," he tells his friends, his tone tinged with finality, "don't let this sacrifice be for nothing." His words hang in the air, a silent acknowledgement of the stakes. The battle escalates as the Justice League fights to defend Earth, while Barry and Kara prepare for their respective roles. Batman, ever the tactician, coordinates their efforts with military precision. Each member plays their part, holding the line as chaos unfolds around them. The teamwork on display is a testament to their resilience, even in the face of insurmountable odds. In the critical moment, Supergirl activates the quantum key. The artifact glows with an intensity that engulfs her completely. As the light consumes her, she whispers her final words: "Tell Clark, I love him." The sacrifice is immediate and irreversible, the brilliance of the key fading as her form disappears into the ether. Simultaneously, Barry races through the collapsing multiverse, his every step an act of sheer will. The Speed Force tears at him, showing him glimpses of dying worlds and fractured timelines. With one final push, he stabilizes the epicenter, collapsing just as the rifts begin to seal. When he returns, he is battered, but victorious. The multiverse is saved, at least for now. As the dust settles, the Justice League gathers in silence, mourning their losses. The quantum key lies in fragments, a stark reminder of the cost of their victory. Batman retrieves a shard, storing it as a warning of the multiverse's fragile balance. In the sky above, a faint crack appears, barely perceptible. Barry notices it and frowns, his voice barely audible. "This isn't over," he mutters as the screen fades to black, leaving the audience with an unsettling sense of what's to come. Inside the sprawling, high-tech corridors of Star Labs, a groundbreaking experiment teeters on the brink of catastrophe. The atmosphere is tense as scientists work meticulously, their focus locked on the dimensional core, an experimental device designed to tap into multiversal energy. Suddenly, the air grows dense, and the floor quakes beneath their feet. A high-pitched whine escalates into a deafening roar as the core overloads, unleashing a pulse of raw energy. In a flash of blinding light, the walls ripple like liquid, and the impossible becomes real. Distorted versions of Earth shimmer into view, each clashing and overlapping with the others. From the swirling chaos emerge figures both familiar and foreign. Alternate versions of heroes and villains begin stepping through rifts, their presence radiating power and uncertainty. Alarms blare as Star Labs falls into disarray. Responding to the emergency, the Justice League arrives to find a scene of utter chaos. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman take in the devastation, their expressions grim. Superman's keen eyes lock onto a menacing figure stepping through a rift, a version of himself clad in a black suit. This alternate Superman exudes danger, his cold gaze filled with malice. Wonder Woman is soon faced with her own dark reflection. This corrupted version of Diana wields a cursed blade that pulses with malevolent energy. As their weapons clash, sparks fly, and the air vibrates with each powerful strike. The battle between the two Wonder Women is fierce, their movements mirroring each other yet carrying entirely different intent. Around them, the city begins to crack and crumble as the dimensional collapse accelerates. Meanwhile, Barry Allen the Flash races through the chaos, his mind working faster than his feet. His advanced sensors confirm the worst. The multiverse itself is unraveling. Dimensional boundaries are breaking down, creating cascading effects that could lead to the annihilation of all realities. This isn't just a disaster, Barry whispers to himself, his voice trembling. It's the end of everything. Time is no longer their ally, and he knows they must act fast or lose everything. Batman, always the strategist, delves into the heart of Star Labs. Amid the collapsing facility and unstable energy fields, he pieces together critical information. The epicenter of the crisis lies within the core itself. However, his discoveries reveal an even more chilling truth. Not all those emerging from the rifts are allies. Dark counterparts of the Justice League have crossed over, and some are determined to exploit the chaos for their own purposes. Trust becomes a fragile commodity as the League prepares for a battle on two fronts, against the collapse and against those who would see it continue. Superman confronts his dark doppelganger in a battle that shakes the city. Every blow lands with the force of a hurricane, sending shockwaves that topple buildings and crack the streets. This black-suited Superman reveals his twisted intent to replace this reality with his own, where he reigns as an unchallenged ruler. Despite the physical toll of the fight, Superman's resolve remains unshaken. "You may look like me," he says through gritted teeth, "but you'll never understand what it means to be me." Inside the dimensional core, Barry faces a new threat, Reverse Flash, but not the one he knows. This version is more ruthless, his attacks more savage. Their battle is a blur of speed and lightning, the sheer velocity of their movements destabilizing the already fragile core. Outside, chaos reigns as dimensional rifts open across the city, pulling fragments of alternate realities into their own. Entire streets vanish, replaced by alien landscapes, while terrified citizens flee for their lives. As the crisis intensifies, the Justice League gathers to formulate a plan. Batman, after hours of analysis, proposes a dangerous solution: reverse the core's polarity to stabilize the collapsing dimensions. But the plan has a grave cost. Someone must remain inside the core to hold the portal open long enough for the reversal to take effect. The League struggles with the enormity of this sacrifice, tensions rising as Barry volunteers. "It has to be me," he says, though his voice wavers with the weight of his decision. Diana refuses to accept it, her determination burning brighter than ever. Just as the League debates their options, a massive rift tears open above the city, unleashing an army of shadowy creatures. These grotesque beings, led by monstrous versions of familiar foes, descend upon the city, spreading destruction. Wonder Woman rallies the League to defend the civilians, while Batman returns to Star Labs to execute the reversal. Superman takes to the skies, his focus shifting between holding back the Shadow Army and confronting his dark counterpart, who remains a relentless threat. Amid the chaos, Barry identifies a pattern in the rifts. If they can synchronize the powers of all their alternate counterparts, there's a chance to stabilize the core without losing anyone. Superman approaches his black-suited doppelganger, proposing a temporary truce. Though his counterpart smirks with disdain, he agrees, motivated by his own hidden agenda. Across dimensions, alternate versions of the League join the fight, creating a fragile but powerful alliance. The combined efforts of heroes and villains focus on the core, their powers channeled to stabilize it. Barry runs faster than ever, generating a vortex of energy around the epicenter. Wonder Woman leads the ground assault, coordinating the defense against the Shadow Army. Batman, monitoring the process from a control station, prepares to activate the reversal at the critical moment. The fabric of the multiverse frays further, but a glimmer of hope begins to shine. Suddenly, Reverse Flash reappears, attacking Barry mid-run and throwing the plan into chaos. Their clash disrupts the vortex, creating an uncontrolled surge of energy that threatens to destroy everything. Superman battles his dog twin with renewed fury, their fight lighting up the night sky. Diana, dragged toward a collapsing portal, digs her sword into the ground, holding her position as she struggles to save those around her. The League's fragile unity begins to crack under the strain. Barry, realizing the gravity of the situation, knows there's only one way to save the multiverse. Pushing beyond his limits, he sacrifices himself, channeling the Speed Force into a golden ring of light that stabilizes the core. His final moments are a blur of speed and resolve, his form disappearing into the vortex. At the same time, Superman forces his counterpart back into the rift, sealing him away. Diana escapes the portal's pull, her grip unwavering as she pulls civilians to safety. When the explosion of light fades, the chaos subsides. The rifts close and the dimensions stabilize, but the cost of victory is immense. Barry Allen is gone, his sacrifice saving countless lives but leaving the League devastated. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman stand together amid the ruins, their faces etched with exhaustion and grief. The city is saved, but the scars of this battle will linger for generations. As dawn breaks over the shattered skyline, Superman vows to bring Barry back, no matter how long it takes. Batman examines the aftermath, discovering faint dimensional fissures that hint at future dangers. Diana, her resolve unbroken, declares that the Justice League must remain united, ready to face whatever comes next. In the shadows, a mysterious figure watches, holding a glowing device that hums with ominous energy. The League may have won the battle, but the war for the multiverse is far from over. For the Justice League, rest is a luxury they cannot afford.